Now come here, me little Jackie. Now I've smoked me backy. Let's have some cracky till the boat comes in. And you shall have a fishy on a little dishy. You shall have a fishy.
Hi guys, welcome to John's Pantry again. Today we're doing battered haddock with twice cooked chips and some proper mushy peas. Not what you see on the TV where they get some garden peas and just blend them down. No, we're doing proper dried marrowfat peas. What I've done is I've soaked them dried marrowfat peas with some bicarbonate of soda. I've soaked them for 6 hours, started with boiling water. I've rinsed them off completely, put them back in the pan and then covered them with an inch of water. And they're on the stove boiling now. So now I'm going to start making the batter. The batter is just plain British plain flour, cake flour, not bread flour. It's too strong for this. Some baking powder, malt vinegar. You could use cider vinegar, but malt vinegar is traditional, and a teaspoon of salt. You want 2 tablespoons of malt vinegar and 2 teaspoons of baking powder. While I've got them prepared, I've got my 2 fillets of haddock on some paper toweling, and that's just to dry them out because you want to remove as much water. So with the batter, I've got 1 mugful, builder's mugful of plain flour. I put that into my dish with the teaspoon of salt. The salt is important, I'll come to that. Then I've got 2 teaspoons of baking powder and then 2 tablespoons of malt vinegar. Now the malt vinegar will react with the baking powder. It'll create bubbles. You can see it straight away. There's nothing else in there apart from the baking powder and the vinegar, and they're already reacting because you've got an alkaline reacting, which is creating carbon dioxide. It's reacting with the acid of the vinegar. Then I'm just putting that builder's mug, the same builder's mug, with ice cold water out the tap. And then I just mix it, but not rigorously, I literally mix it. I don't want to get rid of all the lumps. Lumps are important. You can see that's quite a thick batter, so I'm going to put another quarter of a mug, just a quarter of a mug of ice cold water again. Give it a good mix with the whisk, but do not batter it around because we don't want to stretch the gluten in the flour, because stretched gluten won't go crispy. Now here's the finished batter. I'm not going to mix it anymore. Can you see there's still lumps of flour in there? They will dissipate. They will break down once they go into the fryer, I promise you, and they will crisp up lovely. So now I've got the batter done, I'll put them to one side. I've got my raw potatoes. These are the chips. This is just raw potatoes at the moment. I've put my fryer onto 140 degrees centigrade. So it's not a real frying temperature. This is more, this is what you call blanching the chips. So I'm going to pre-cook them in the fat, which will give us a lovely finish when we put them back in later on into the 180 degrees, and that will give us a nice crispy chip, but it will also be nice and fluffy inside. So this is, you can see it frying. Can you see the water? That water there is just the water coming out of the potatoes, and you can see where it snapped. So obviously tartar sauce goes with fish and chips, so we're going to knock up some tartar sauce. I've got some pickled gherkins. You can use cornichons, but use 3 or 4 because they are a lot smaller. I've got some nice capers that were in vinegar. I've got a bit of lemon juice, some mayonnaise and some parsley, and I've just chopped up the capers, chopped up the gherkin and the parsley, put them into a dish, the same amount in size of mayonnaise, and then I've just got a wedge of lemon and just squeeze some in. That'll just give you a little bit of sharpness. And there we go. That literally just took us 2 minutes, but it's gorgeous to go with a nice crispy batter. Now these are the mushy peas. These are just the dried marrowfat peas that have been soaked for 6 hours in boiled water with some bicarb. I've rinsed them off, covered them again with an inch of water. These have been simmering now for a good couple of hours, and this is what they will start looking like. They go quite thick. This is when you season them. Don't season the water before you start cooking them, because the peas will not break down and will not become mushy. Now let's get cooking this fish. This is the fish that has been sat on the paper towel. Look, this is the skin side facing up. I've now got the fire on 180 degrees centigrade, and I'm gonna flour the fish before we put it in the batter, because the floured fish the batter will adhere to it much better. I've just salt and peppered the flour, give it a mix up, and then put your fish fillets into the bag. Give it a good mix around, get it all covered so there's no wet bits of fish showing anymore, and then take it out the bag and into your batter. The reason I pointed out that was the skin side showing up, because when you put your fish in, you want the fish to go into your fryer, so the skin side of the fish, where the skin would have been, goes into the fryer first. So it gives you a much better presentation. Handy hint. There's the fish. That's the skin side down going into the batter there. And that will end up going into the fryer same way round. So that will give us a much better presentation when we come to put it on the plate. And all you do is just make sure you submerge it in the batter a couple of times, get it all covered, and then slowly but surely put it into the fryer. Remember, this fryer is now at 180 degrees centigrade. Now, once you've got both fillets in, it's literally going to be 30 seconds on that side for the first side. And this is the first time that side's going to be cooked. Now, all we're doing is what we call setting the batter. So you're getting the shape of the batter first. Then turn it over after 30 seconds. And then that's going to shape the presentation side of the batter. And this is where you get a nice presentation. If you kept it on there, as soon as you put it in, if you didn't turn it over after 30 seconds, the presentation side would look very, very blotchy. It would, in fact, your batter may not actually adhere to the fish. So all I'm doing now is just every now and again move the fish, turn it over. You want it on 2 minutes on one side, 2 minutes on the other side, and then that's your fish cooked. You're not looking any more than 4 to 5 minutes in the fryer. Just remember, this oil is at 100 degrees centigrade. And then it's just like any protein. Once you take it out, you need to let it sit for 2-3 minutes. So, which is a perfect time that you can cook your chips. Your chips are already cooked, so they're blanched. So all we do with the fish, all the chips, is put them back in at 180 degrees centigrade. That will crisp them up, keep it nice and fluffy inside. And that's what I'm doing right now. Give them a good mix up, then lift the basket back out, give it a shake so that every bit of chip gets covered in the hot oil. That's the battered fish. That can sit there for 2-3 minutes. It's not going to go cold in that time, but it allows all the juices in the fish to clear. That batter is lovely and crispy. And there's nothing to it, just those 4 ingredients. One of them is water. This is the mushy peas. They've come down to a perfect consistency now. You want it slightly thicker than a sauce. This is a traditional item that used to, back in the day, they used to serve with all fish and chips, which was deep fried parsley, and that goes crispy. It literally only needs 25-30 seconds in the fryer, same temperature, 180. Let it drain off for a couple of seconds, and then Bob's your uncle. And there's the fish. Look how white that fish is. It's absolutely gorgeous. And the batter is lovely and crisp. And this is what we're having for lunch. It was so good, I'll show you it again. Cheers, thanks a lot for watching. I hope this has been a help. Traditional fish and chips with mushy peas. Cheers.
Dance to your daddy, to your mommy, sing. Dance to your daddy, sing to your mommy. Dance to your daddy, to your mommy, sing. You shall have a fishy on a little dishy. You shall have a fishy when the boat comes in. Now here's your mother coming, like a canny woman. Yonder comes your father drunk, he cannot stand. And you shall have a fishy on a little dishy. You shall have a fishy when the boat comes in.